Good morning. It's Wednesday. Oh, we got the wrong day up there. Just a minute. We can't have that. Hang on, I put the wrong day up there. I'm sure I sorted that out. Hang on. One minute. Oh dear. How unprofessional. Wednesday. There we are. That's better. There we are. Good morning. It's Wednesday, the 30th of May, 2018. Welcome along to this morning's United Kingdom talk, coming to you from Bracknell in Berkshire. 30th. Is there one more day left of this month, or is it 30? Oh no, we've got one more day left of the month, haven't we? One more day left, and then it becomes June. June is busting out all over. La da. Where's all my? Oh no. Something's gone terribly wrong. All my news stories have disappeared. One moment, please. Oh no. Oh, closed window. One moment. Oh, I can't believe it. So everything I had ready has just disappeared. Reopen closed window. Is that it? Ah! Ha ha ha! They are back. For one moment. What I've got on this computer here is a selection 2, 4, 6, 8. There's actually 10 news stories up on there in case I ran out of things to say, which hasn't happened in the last 55 years, but it might happen today. I'm always very well prepared, dear. That's because I was in the Scouts. Yes. Cubs, be prepared. We will be prepared. Absolutely. This is not a cheap setup, you know. It's all very, very carefully prepared and planned before I come up and speak to you. Only 10 seconds before that countdown was coming to the end and I had to get up and say hello, I was on the floor here adjusting the piece of wood that this roll-about chair's on. Because it don't work so well on a carpet, so I've got a bit of wood on, literally a bit of wood on the floor. Never mind. We got a new karaoke happening soon. Oh my God. A new karaoke. Yesterday, I was I was just sitting at home yesterday and I got suddenly just a phone call from, is this working or not? Is everything working all right? I got a phone call from, of all places, the King's Head Theatre Bar. Now, that's where I do the quiz on Wednesday nights. It's on tonight, as always, boys and girls. Wednesday quiz, if you want to come and join us, is at the King's Head Theatre Pub in 115 Upper Street, Islington, London, N1 1QN. Okay, it's every Wednesday, starts at 8:30. It's a nice little night, that is. I mean, it really is a nice little night. It's very friendly. We don't go too mad with the quiz, if you see what I mean. Don't need to be serious or anything like that. It's a bit of a laugh. And that's tonight, starting at 8:30, boys and girls, if you want to come and join us down there. And that's where the new karaoke is going to be, on Sunday nights. Now, as always, I like to give it a double, a 2-week run before we actually start, so that people know it's going to happen. So it's going to be starting on Sunday, June the 10th. Okay, Sunday, June the 10th. It will be 9 p.m. to 12 midnight, and that's at the King's Head Theatre Bar in Upper Street in Islington. Sad bit of news. It's almost opposite where that. It's not opposite. It's opposite and a little bit further down where we had that trouble a couple of weeks ago. All right, just to let you know exactly where it is, so you know where it is. There's like this is not the town hall, but it looks like a temple on the opposite side of the road. Okay, so that's roughly where it is. If you look out for something that looks like a Greek temple and then go on the other side of the road, you will see the King's Head Theatre Bar. Now, you won't see any posters going up yet, okay? Because, as you well know, as regular viewers and friends to this programme, you will know we've had a lot of false starts this year. Since December, there's been a hell of a lot of jobs that have got right along the line and then just haven't started for several different reasons. Okay, perhaps people haven't done their own work, or haven't checked with head office or something like that. So there's been an awful lot of false starts, which frankly makes me look really stupid. For me to tell you something's going to happen and then it doesn't. I mean, I feel like that because of course I've told you. As soon as you know one of these nights is going to start, you want to tell as many people as possible, so when it starts, they're there. It's as simple as that. you want them to have a nice night. Always in my mind, okay, when I'm doing these jobs, whether I'm doing this or quiz or karaoke, the number one thing in my mind is not how much I'm going to get paid. That's not how it works. In my head is these people, I want them to have a good night tonight and be as fair as possible to everyone. That's how it is. So you want a lot of people to be there so that those that do come have a decent audience to come and see them sing and all that. And that's what's happening. All right, so far, all well and good. I'll put a little poster up nearer the time. Certainly, I won't put any posters up on the karaoke Facebook group walls yet until we're much closer, okay? But I'm going in tonight to do the quiz, and I'll just check everything's all right at this moment, and it should be. There's no reason to say why it weren't. I don't want anyone to pull the carpet out at the last minute again. But hopefully, fingers crossed. So we'll be doing karaoke at the King's Head Theatre Bar. It's a nice little stage in the corner. It's a lovely place. It's absolutely chock-a-block with character in there. It's chock-a-block with character. That'll be Sunday nights, 9 p.m. till 12 midnight from Sunday, the 10th of June. All right, so I'm quite pleased to be able to tell you that. You notice a text number up there. Thanks for all your messages. I'm just coming to those in a moment, boys and girls. You'll notice a text number up there. That's new. There was a problem with the text number to Maureen, actually. Now, Maureen is the lady that I actually set up the text number for, because she didn't ask for it, actually. I suddenly realised that she told me she watches the show on her big telly, but she can't communicate. She hasn't got a computer on the internet, so she can't join in, if you see what I mean. And I had a little think about this, and I also thought to myself, well, Maureen can't be the only one who perhaps watches the show on the telly but can't communicate back. She can't join in. She is not being included, and we like to include everyone. So I set up a text number on the mobile phone, and we've been trying it out for a few days, and all was well and good, except on Monday Maureen came into the pub to do the karaoke. Maureen is one of our regular karaoke singers and a good friend as well. She's a lovely lady, and she was saying she's been trying to text. She'd sent several texts to the and it's basically a phone. This is it, okay? That's the text-in phone. She's been sending texts to the phone, but clearly I haven't been getting them. So I rung up Vodafone and I told them, and they did something. Don't ask me what, because I don't know. They said, OK, we'll look into it for you. So they did something, and then they rung back and said, OK, that should be OK now. I can't remember if they reset something or did. I don't know. And then I texted Maureen from it, and she texted back, and that's working. Oh, it's working now, actually. And she says, so it seems to be working. So, Maureen, I've got your message. Look, here, it comes up here. Look, can you see that? Can you see that? Maureen Central Station. I've even named you Maureen. So she's watching on the telly and she says, good morning, Chris. I'm watching your show live. And that's from Maureen. How fantastic. So the text number's up there if you want to use it right under the Union flag. If you use the other ways, then just carry on using those, okay? Because that's the easiest thing to do. Good morning on the... Where should we start today? Let's start on the YouTube today. Paul Mosley. Good morning, Paul. Who says, do I get a prize? No, there's no prize, Paul. There's no prize. Why are people always wanting prizes, dear? They're always... This is the problem with the television shows at the moment. Too many people giving away massive prizes. I mean, what do you want me to do? Sell one of my houses or something to give you a prize? People will have nowhere to live. Huh? Paul says, did you hear the MPs want to ban cartoon characters from cereal packets? I've got that story here waiting, yes. Because of child obesity. Tony the Tiger. Oh, now that would be Frosty's. Frosty, Tony the Tiger, the Honey Monster. Tell him about the honey, mummy. And even the Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough are now losing their jobs. Shocking. I've got that story here, so we might come to that a little bit later. Over on Facebook Live, first message of the morning goes to Mark Jones. Good morning, Mark, who sent me a little message last night. He said, well, will there be a show tonight? No, because I was busy last night. Not like that, unfortunately. That don't happen anymore. But never mind. It may do. Well, we live in hope. Don't take away people's hope. Never, ever take away people's hope. That's what I say. You know, when people are dying You see, I don't believe people should be told that they're dying in hospital or wherever they are. I think that's the worst thing you can do. You've immediately removed any hope that they have. I mean, I've seen people in hospital. I would never tell someone they're dying. I didn't tell my mother they're dying, but she was dying. Didn't tell her. No. I don't know if the doctor told her or not. And I think I said to the doctor, I'm sure I said to the doctor when my mother was dying in hospital, I said, does she know? And he said to me, she knows there's something wrong. Okay. And I said, okay, we'll just leave it at that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it's a good idea to remove people's hope for whatever reason. You know, let's say to a young person, you're never going to own a home. That's not true. That's not true. It depends. Depends on so many factors. I don't think there's a case to something. I think a lot of young people won't own their own homes, like a lot of people my age don't own their own homes. That's just how it is. Some people have had the money and spent it on other things. You have many choices in lives. You have many, many choices in life. I am jealous of many young people who decide they leave school and they think, well, we'd like to see the world first. And they go to, I don't know, Spain and Australia and Japan and Russia and America and Israel and all these places, Saudi Arabia. And they go and get a job behind a bar, you know, for so many months. And they see the area they work. And then when they've seen that, they move somewhere else to another country. That's what they decided to do with their money. I decided to save it up and buy a house. So it's many, many different choices. Many, many different choices. Good morning to... Let's see, where are we? Alan Russell is there this morning. Good morning, Alan. I love that song you sing with Maureen, incidentally. La da 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 da. True love, true love. Lovely, beautiful. Alan often sings a little duet with Maureen, which is really nice. Good morning to Andy Baker. Diane Jebizet. Good morning, Diane. Dri Hioa. That's a nice name. Dri Hioa. Where are you, sir? Dri. Is that a girl's name or a boy's name? Dri. I think it's a girl. Is it a girl? Oh, you're very. Excuse me. Your picture is very small. Just a moment. Let me try and have a better look. Dri. Where's that Dri? Oh, I've lost you now. Hang on a minute. Oh no, I'm going the wrong way. That's why. Dri is a lady. Hello, Dri. Whereabouts are you? Do let us know where you are. And if you're going to use the text, incidentally, which is at the top there, 07551 259 675, please put your name and where you are. Otherwise, I don't know. If it's just a text, no idea who you are or anything like that, okay? Gary's just texted in. There we are. Gary's got the idea. Oh, Jerry, I beg your pardon. Jerry's got the right idea. Good morning from Jerry. I watch you on my television. Aha! You see? I knew Maureen wouldn't be the only one. I'll be using this from now on. Thank you very much, Jerry. I'm glad you enjoyed the show. Whereabouts are you, Jerry? Do let us know. Let's have a look. Dri. We've done Dri. I'm still going the wrong way on there. Morning to Andy Baker. Good morning to Nong. Morning to Nong. Mike Contini says, morning, a beautiful sunny island of Skye with the miggies biting my body. Are you on the Isle of Skye? La da 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 da. What a beautiful place. It's horrible here. It's fully overcast. It was horrible yesterday as well. Raining all day long yesterday. Awful. Alan's coming down for the quiz. Good. I'm glad you are. I think I can go back onto the computer now, can I? Let's have a look there. Yes, I can. Morning to Kimmy Witts. Morning, Kim. Craig Wright is there. Good morning, Craig. Kevin Webster. Good morning, Kevin. Ray Reynolds is off to Eastbourne. Heidi, hi, Ray Reynolds. Have a lovely time, Ray. There's my friend, Ronnie. Good morning, best friend Ronnie here. Are you swimming? I feel up to coming. What time? Please text me. No need to text you, Ronnie. I can tell you here. What's it now? 9:30, so 10:30. 10:30 for the swimming, please, Ron. Are you coming here to collect me? Or is it going to rain? It looks like it's going to chuck it down in a minute. We'll see. I'll text you after the show, okay? And good morning, Christina. Now, where were you yesterday? I spotted you. You were hanging around somewhere else again, weren't you? Where were you yesterday? Can't remember where you were. do let us know. All right. So yesterday, didn't have time to do a show yesterday morning or go to Slimming World because I had the men come round and fix my solar panel. Now, there's two types of solar panel. There's thermosolar. Now that heats water. Okay, and I have a solar twin system. I'll tell you about it in a second. And there's the PV solar panels, which produce electricity. Now I have both sorts on my house. I've had them up there. The PV panels have been up there now about 11 years. Okay, and you literally fit and forget. Once a year, my window cleaner comes round. Apart from, he cleans my windows every couple of months. But he also gets up onto my roof once a year. And for the princely sum of 25 quid, he cleans all my solar panels. And he's a lovely bloke, Mark. And he does the other one as well, the thermal one. Now, the PV ones, which produce electricity, are working fine. Never had a problem with them. You literally put them up there and you forget them. Just clean them now and again. That's all you need to do with those. It was the thermal one that I've been having problem with. Now, the thermal solar panel is just one big panel, okay? It's got a little electric panel in one of the corners. And what happens is that when the sun hits that whole panel, the little electric panel starts producing electricity and starts running a pump, which is in the loft upstairs. I haven't got a very big loft. You can't stand up in it. You know, it's quite low down. You couldn't make it into a room or anything like that. So this little pump then draws water out of the tank through a plastic pipe, a white plastic rubbery type pipe, into the panel. And then it goes like that throughout the panel. You know, twisting and like that, comes to the end, turns back on itself, like that, and then comes out the other end. And as the sun hits that, the water is heated up quite a lot and goes into the tank. That's how it works, okay? And this hasn't been working. I noticed the pump that goes into the tank is red hot. So hot you can't touch it. But the pump that comes out of the tank to take it back up again is stone cold. Now, you would have thought that will be slightly warm, but it's not. So this happened actually last year, and I just didn't do anything about it. So I did do something about it. I rung them up, and they were very blasé about it actually last year. So I think that either the people who are running it have changed, or the company's changed. I don't know. But anyway. So this year I rung up two people, the people, and at last, yesterday, two men came round and they were so nice. These blokes were proper men, proper men, and they were really, really nice. Ever such nice people they were, both sort of in their early 40s. One of them used to be a DJ because I like to talk to people a lot. You may have noticed that. I'm going to have a good old conversation with them. And one was a DJ, and like me, he's been married and he got a divorce and it's cost him a fortune and all this, that and the other. He's doing all this while I'm sure they could have done the work in half the time had I not have been speaking to them. So, what it turns out, I thought the pump was gone. But he went up into the loft and he put a battery on the pump to see if it would work, and it worked. He said, I don't think it's the pump that's gone. So we deduced that the small solar panel, which is up there, had stopped working or wasn't working very well at all. So they changed the little solar panel. And also, the tube that goes like that, this has been up there 13 years, was full of limescale. And he said, have you got a water softener? I said, well, no. He said, right, so you need to get these bags of stuff. And apparently you can buy these little bags of salts. And you literally just drop them into the little, it's got a little filler tank. So you've got your main water tank, which gives you the water in the house, yeah? And you've got a little tank which provides the top up to the solar panel. Okay, so whenever some of the water evaporates, it lets a little bit more in. That's where I would put this bag of salt things. And I think he said you change it 3 or 4 times a year. You know, so just order some. So I've ordered some off Amazon, and that'll probably get here in the next couple of days. So this pipe is caked in sludge, basically sludge. And he told me the manufacturers of these particular panels, Solar Twin, have told them right, that they can't be fixed. Once they're gone, they're gone. You need a new panel. He said, but we've found a way of doing it with a 90% success rate. And if it's all right with you, we'll give that a go first. But if it doesn't work, that means you just paid us an hour for doing what didn't work. I said, no, give it a go. If he said, I reckon we can probably do it. Okay, so they're up on the roof and he's banging away with a hammer. He bangs the tube, you see, which moves the sludge along. And then he puts a water pipe, a hose at one end and turns it on, but not too hard, and literally flushes out the pipe. And then that's it. So they were there about 2.5 hours altogether. And the water, I saw it flowing with my own eyes. Of course, you won't know 100% until the sun comes out, starts hitting that panel when you get the hot water. Okay, so I'm waiting for that to happen. Now, I don't know if you've seen the weather forecast. It's dire. I mean, it's not cold. It's not cold at all. It feels like in here about 22 degrees at the moment, actually. But there's no sun whatsoever outside. It's completely overcast, as indeed it was overcast yesterday as well. They got here at 9 o'clock. They were lucky with the weather, to be honest. Because I got up for them about 6:30, because you don't know what time people are coming. I was first call, and he did say 8:30 to 9 he'd be here. So I got up at 7:30 yesterday morning. So I like to be all ready for people, you know. I don't like, I think it's the height of rudeness not to be ready for people who are coming round. So I got up at about 7:30, as I say, and got everything ready for them, moved stuff out of the way. They got her about 9 o'clock, and I thought, any minute now, this is going to absolutely bucket down with rain. But it didn't. It didn't, right until the very end, when it did start sort of coming down slowly. But by then, they were off the roof, and they'd gone. I'd run out of coffee as well. I'm not a coffee drinker. I've got loads of tea. I've got all different teas downstairs. All different teas. I've got Yorkshire tea. I've got Harrods number 14. I've got Twinings Assam tea. And I've got a Yorkshire Gold blend, which I haven't tried yet. Got all different teas. I haven't got any coffee. So I said, shall I make you a cup of tea? Or if we could have one tea and one coffee, please. I said, I haven't got any coffee. I said, I'll go next door. So I went next door to my neighbour, Dave and Karen. Oh, such a lovely couple. You couldn't wish, and they're both retired now as well, so they're in most of the time, which is handy, you know. They can keep an eye on the house when I'm not here. And Dave's got one of those doorbells as well. We've both got he was the first one in our street to have one of those Ring doorbells. That's with the little camera on it. So, you know, someone comes... In fact, it starts recording people before they've even pushed a button. So when you come near the door, he's got one and I've got one as well. As you approach the door, it starts recording. By the time you've pushed that button, we've already got you, mate. And a lot of stupid people seem to think that the film or the memory card that it record is in the bell unit. You are joking, aren't you? You know. No. Well, that records and it's sent somewhere in, I don't know, Siberia, in one of those data centres. I come in here and log on. Oh, that's interesting. Someone approached my door at that time and all that business. Yes, we've all got cameras here. So, Dave, I said to Dave, you haven't got any coffee, have you? He said, oh, yeah. And Karen came out. He said, what's up, Chris? I said, have you got any coffee for the workman next door? We need workmen. I've got workmen next door and one of them wants a cup. Oh, she says, no problem at all. But we haven't got ordinary coffee. And I thought, what do you mean by ordinary coffee? And she says, well, I've got this. And she brought out this thing what looked like a teapot. I'd never seen one before. And she measured out some coffee and put it in the bottom and then poured this water onto it and then pushed something down. I don't know what it was like. Would it be called a percolator? That is one of my favourite words of all time. A percolator. Isn't that a great word? Percolator. I love it. If some of the people on the Learn English websites are wondering what that is, what is a percolator? Well, I don't know myself, to be honest. And you push this thing down and then you just pour it out. Very clever. So I took that in with me and we made the coffee and that seemed to be all well and good and they enjoyed the coffee. And as I say, I had a good chat with them and there were two really, really nice fellas. Anyway, the job's done and I await the invoice. I didn't need a new pump though. Now the pump was one of the most expensive items, was the most expensive item other than a new panel that it could possibly be, and I didn't need one. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful to get a sub £500 bill. You know, they did the dearest quote. They quoted me at first. The maximum it would be about 850 quid. Which in a year, you wouldn't get that back in a year. Not even 2 years, probably. But, you know, it's one of those things, isn't it? You know, it's up there, so I might as well get it fixed. So that was my little morning yesterday. Let's just read some of your messages. Jerry is from Solihull in the West Midlands. Thank you. I've been watching since I started YouTube long ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago, wasn't it? Gosh, I tell you what, Jerry, actually I've been doing the chat shows even longer than on YouTube because it started out as audio only. And I used to record basically podcasts. I don't do that anymore. I don't do the audio only, although people have been asking for an audio only version. And the thing is, I might be able to, it's more work. Do you see what I mean? For a long time, I ran the audio only and the video together. And then I thought, well, I don't think many people are listening to the audio. So I dropped it and no one complained. So I assume there was no one or very few people listening to the audio, or they came across onto the video. People are asking, though, for an audio only version. Actually, they've only asked for a live one. So I've been trying to set something up called a SHOUTcast thing. And I can't do it at the moment. I'm requiring help with that. I've set up a Shoutcast account, but whenever I try and connect, it tells me I've got invalid ID and invalid password, and I can't work out what's going on there. Can't work it out. But I've got a couple of people who are helping me. It does say it's free, so it ain't going to cost me anything. But basically, I just connect and run it at the same time as I'm doing this, so you can have an audio only on in the background. All right. It would be nice if you did the podcast again. There you go. Yeah, you're asking for it as well. I see what you mean there. I don't always get the time to get to the television to watch, but I always have my phone on me, so it would be nice to listen to an audio version from Jerry. Yeah, I see where you're coming from there, Jerry, but it is more work. I'll have a little think about it. So you want it recorded as well, don't you? But there could be an audio live version. That, if I can get that going, that should be relatively easy to keep it going. All right. Let's go here. Hello to Angela. Did you see my golf trophy I won? Captain's trophy with 5 under. Oh, I don't know anything about golf. What does that mean? 1 with 5 under. I don't know what that means. I don't understand golf or cricket. Well, that is just another language, cricket, isn't it? What does that mean? Well, I don't know. Yeah, that's 580 for 3 not out. What does that mean? Don't know. I mean, I'm not a football fan, okay? But at least you know who's winning. 3-0 to Liverpool. 4-0 to Manchester United. 5-1 to Fulham All-Stars. You understand that? Cricket. England have 78 bats for 3 not out with 5 overs. What the hell does that mean? Easier to learn Chinese, isn't it? No idea what's going on with cricket, I'm afraid. Hello to Kelly Kim. I really want a Ring doorbell. Is it the one that records on your phone and you can answer it on your phone? Yes, Kelly Kim, it is. It's fantastic. It is fantastic. Next time you're with me, I'll ring up my best mate and say, could you go round to my house and push the doorbell so we can show Kelly Kim? Oh, they're great, Kelly Kim. They're really good. Not only that, okay? Yeah, you talk on you look at it, right? You look and you can see the person and you can talk to them like I'm talking to you now. Very, very good indeed. Very, very good indeed. Highly recommend Ring doorbell, okay? There are some other makes out there. I don't know what they're like. There are ones that are a lot cheaper than Ring, but Ring are the market leader. Probably better to pay the few extra quid for that one rather than another one. All right, darling? Christina says he has tea. I would like a cup of tea. I'd like a cup of tea now as well, actually, Christina. I've only had one so far this morning. I usually have 2 cups of tea before I get down to or 2 pots of tea. I haven't got it up there with me. I've got little pots. And I get about a large mug and a half out of a pot of tea. Hello to Christopher Ireland. Hello, Christopher. All right. It's a cafeteria. Lovely fresh coffee perks. Oh, so that's called a cafeteria, is it? Or cafeteria? Cafetieri? Cafetiere. Yeah, you push this thing on the top. I like the smell of coffee. I just don't like the taste. Funny, innit? And coffee chocolates. Oh no, they get chucked in the bin. You know when you got the milk tray, the coffee ones. I try and farm them out to other people before they get to my mouth. Horrible things. It's like the green sweets in jelly tots or fruit gums. You always try and give the green ones away, don't you? Huh? My favourite ones are the black ones and the red ones. When I'm having sweets, my favourite ones are black currant, like proper black, and the red ones. Don't like the green ones. Never like the green ones. They remind me of snot. And, you know, let's be honest, lads and girls. We eat enough snot when we're babies, don't we? We don't want to be eating it into adulthood as well. Christina makes her coffee most of the time with the push-down thing as well. Do you really? Oh, it seems a lot of hassle to me. Mind you, it's no different to me making my tea with leaves in a teapot now. I don't use tea bags at all anymore. Someone was asking how that came about. Well, it's since we went to afternoon teas. Since we started going to afternoon teas, I'm going out with someone else next week, my friend Richard Morris, who I worked with in the Black Cap about 15 years ago or so now, perhaps a little bit longer than that. He's a lovely bloke, he is. I've kept in contact with him all these years, and about once a year we meet up now. And he's in Watford, and the Grove, which is where I've been to afternoon tea place, is in Watford. So I've suggested that we meet up there next Thursday, actually. So we're going there next Thursday for a nice afternoon tea and some sandwiches and all that. Kelly Kim only has coffee beans. I've got a grinder for the cafeteria. That's the one with the plunger. The percolator drips the coffee through. So your beans come like that and you put it through a machine and little bitties and granules come out, do they? Oh, it's all very proper, isn't it, Kelly Kim? All very proper, dear. And marvellous. Paul Mosley's saying the Fulham All-Stars. Oh, my God. Good morning, Joanna. Welcome to the show. Andy Baker has got me a new coffee machine last week. A Tassimo makes Costa coffee. Now, Costa coffee, as I can't really talk about coffee because I don't drink it. The Costa tea is horrible. I don't know what tea they use, but it ain't nice. Horrible Costa tea. I've got to say the Starbucks tea is fairly reasonable. Starbucks tea, but it's horrendously expensive. You know, I rarely go into a Starbucks. Generally, the only time I go into a Starbucks is if I'm on holiday in some foreign country somewhere and they can't make tea, which is actually most, including in America. They can't make tea. Or would you like a cup of tea? Out comes a cup of warm water and a tea bag on the side. No, dear. That's not how you make tea. Starbucks know how to make the tea. Don't matter where you go in the world. They put that blooming tea bag, which is it's actually not too bad, which is made of silk. No, I'm sure it's made of plastic. I mean, plastic tea bags. Why have you bought those out? Why have people bought plastic tea bags out? I mean, they're useless for the environment. I don't know how they could. They make me laugh, people. We've got cardboard boxes now for the burgers, and we've got paper straws. Would you like tea? And they give you a plastic tea bag. Literally a plastic tea bag. But Starbucks can do tea, I'll give you that. They can do tea, but it's expensive. That's why I only go generally when I'm on holiday somewhere, because you know you can get a decent cup of tea there. Anyway, Andy was saying he's got a Tassimo makes Costa coffee, breakfast tea and drinking chocolate. The coffee comes in little pods. Oh yeah, my mate's got one of my mate's other half has got one of these. Andy's got one of these. He's got on his kitchen. On my mate's kitchen, by the wall, he's got boxes of these little pod things. Again, very bad for the environment, dear. Little plastic things, and he pushes them in a machine and pushes a button and out drips a little bit of coffee. What's all that about? What's all that about? I'm sure you get exactly the same results from putting a spoonful of coffee in a cup and boiling water over it or whatever it is. No, you're not supposed to do boiling water on coffee, are you? Doesn't it burn it or something? Or scald the coffee? He says the coffee comes in little pods you put into the machine and makes really nice drinks. Only trouble is the pods can cost £4 or £5 for a pack of 8 pods. So it became a bit expensive, but nevertheless they make nice drinks. £4 or £5 for a pack of 8 pods? Blimey, he's got stacks of them all along the wall. I reckon he nicks them from hotels when he goes away. Do they have those sort of things in hotels? He probably nicks them from the hotel, along with the towels and the sheets. Ghastly. Good morning to Mark Cording. Morning, Mark. Did you hear the news at the beginning of the show, Mark? Or have you missed it? Eh? Have you been watching Britain's Got Talent? No. No, I'm fed up seeing the same old rubbish on there. I like talent shows. What I don't like is judges sitting there judging the people on the stage. Why can't we just have the talent show? You know, like Opportunity Knocks was with either Hughie Green or Bob Monkhouse. You did your talent thing. There weren't any judges or anything. I don't understand why we've got to have judges sitting in front of people doing their talent all the time. Some of them are really nasty as well. I don't like nastiness on the telly. Andy, Mark, the D-Day darlings were fantastic. No, they've been watching Britain's Got Talent there, haven't they? Angela says, I've just had someone ring trying to give me a coffee machine for free, but I had to buy the coffee pods. Ah, there you go. You see, that's what they do. They say it's like buying a printer, isn't it? They're practically giving away printers now. Then you buy an ink cartridge. You know, 50 quid, 100 Australian, 75 US. Outrageous what they charge for ink. Drop for drop, more expensive than the most expensive champagne that there is. I've only got a black and white printer here. I've had 3 colour printers. I'm sick to death of trying to get the damn things to work. They're so annoying, colour printers. Can't get them to work. You know, you can spend... So you go and buy a printer cartridge for like 50 quid, or you get one of those 3 ones, can't you? So you get the red, the yellow and the blue separately. Or whatever it's called. Magneta? I don't know what it's called. And cyan and yellow. And you can get the separate ones together. But still, you can spend half a cartridge trying to get the damn picture to print out correctly. No, I don't do any of that anymore. If I want pictures, which is very rare actually, I don't print out pictures anymore. They just sit on a hard drive now. You take the pictures and that sit on a hard drive, don't they? Or you upload them to Facebook. All my pictures are on Facebook now. Put them on a little memory key thing, and you plug it in there. If you want to print them out, you take them down to Boots the Chemist. You plug them into their machine there. It gives you a preview of all the pictures. Now, yeah, that looks all right. And you push a button and out comes the picture. And if you don't like it, you take it there. No, I don't want that one. And you don't pay for it. It's as simple as that. So much easier than trying to get a blooming colour printer to work. I've just got a black and white one here. For the quiz that I do on Wednesdays, they've now fixed... They've got a new colour printer at the place where I do the quiz on Wednesday nights at the King's Head Theatre Bar, which is tonight. And I send the colour picture questions over to them now, and they print them out, and very well printed out too as well, I have to say. Fantastic printing over... I don't know what printer they've got. I must find out. I might be tempted to get one myself. I might be tempted. Mark missed the start of the show. Well, you'll have to wait now, Mark, won't you, lovey? You'll have to wait and then watch the beginning of it all over again. Because we've got a new karaoke starting at the King's Head Theatre Bar. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Sunday nights, 9 to 12 from June the 10th. Okay, Mark? That's what we were doing there. Good. Hello to Patrick Devlin. Good morning, Patrick. Patrick's my cousin. Cousin Patrick is in the house. Are you in New Zealand at the moment, Paddy? Are you in New Zealand at the moment? Good morning to Shane Cameron. Angela loves eating fudge with a nice cup of tea. Cornwall fudge is horrible. Kangaroo fudge is great. Oh, yeah. I saw the picture of your kangaroo fudge. I saw it the other day eventually. Sorry, I meant to mention that a couple of shows ago. Kangaroos make fudge as well as in Cornwall. I'm not going down the whole fudge route again, though. Not today. All right. Claire didn't get a notification this morning. Don't know why that is, Claire. Sorry, darling. Don't know why that is. Sometimes these things work. Sometimes they don't, do they? Right, let's just... Have I read that one out? Oh, yes. Jerry says he used to listen to the audio version. I liked it when you had the United Kingdom radio station online, but it didn't work out. No, I used to actually have a radio station a talk radio station, United Kingdom Radio, and I was on there, and many other people as well. But technically, it was a blooming nightmare, and certainly when it comes to technical things, they drive me to absolute despair, and eventually I just gave up. There were so many problems with it; it used to get on my nerves. But one of those things. All right, some news stories as someone mentioned earlier. Look at this in the Daily Mirror this morning. MPs are calling for a blanket ban on brand characters used to promote the foods high in fat, sugar or salt. But the Jolly Green Giant, I like Giant. How's that go? Now, how does that tune go? Jolly Green Giant. It's like that, isn't it? That the Jolly Green Giant could survive as he promotes vegetables. Oh, yes, boys and girls, here comes the very important story, all right? So it says, adverts using characters like Tony the Tiger and the Milky Bar Kid is strong and tough, accused to promote junk food, should be banned to help tackle Britain's childhood obesity crisis, a leading group of MPs has recommended. MPs are calling for a ban on brand-generated characters or licensed TV and film characters, which are used to promote foods high in fat, sugar or salt on broadcast and non-broadcast media. What are we going to do? No lion, no tiger, no Terry. Is it Terry the Tiger? Tony the Tiger? No Tony the Tiger on the front of our Frosties packets? This is terrible. He's always been there. Such a ban would mean characters such as Kellogg's Tony the Tiger and Nestle's Milky Bar Kid would have to be dropped or used to promote healthier products. Well, I don't know. I mean, what would you have Tony the Tiger promote if he can't promote Frosties? There's a question for you this morning. What would you have Tony the Tiger? Great. What would you have Tony the Tiger or the Milky Bar Kid promote instead of the items that they are at the moment? But characters such as the Jolly Green Giant could continue to promote vegetables. When TV chef and campaigner Jamie Oliver, he's put on some weight, hasn't he? And he's fat now. Have you seen how fat Jamie Oliver is? Oh dear. Talk as you will, do as you say, sir. You can't be promoting healthy foods if you put on that amount of weight, can you, love? Slimming World, that's where you want to go. I never got down there yesterday, unfortunately, because of the blokes on there. But if anyone wants to take Jamie Oliver to Slimming World, I think he could do with a few visits there, my love. Huh? It goes on. When TV chef and campaigner Jamie Oliver gave evidence to the Health and Social Care Select Committee, they're so important, those people, aren't they? So, people on committees, are very important. Have you ever tried to do a job for someone who's in a committee? It's a nightmare. No one can agree on anything. What about a church committee or the school committee or something like that? They just end up all rowing and screaming and shouting at each other. You can imagine what it's like now. I bet it's even worse than it was than when I was a child. Anyway, MPs have urged the government to take action on advertisements when it comes to products. When it produces its next chapter of its childhood obesity plan. Because, joking aside, it's not funny. There's a lot of really fat kids out there now. There's a lot of really fat kids. And generally, their parents are really fat as well. And we don't care what people are looking like. Not really, do we? We don't care what people look like. But what about their health? If the parents of these people, knowing everything that they know, want to continue to stuff their faces with chips and pizza all day long, nothing wrong with having some chips now and again. There's nothing wrong with having the occasional pizza. Maybe a cake 2 or 3 times a week. But it's every night. Every night they sit there with a box of 6 cherry Bakewells, a multi-pack bag of crisps, as well as the normal meals that are eaten in between all the time. That's what they're doing. But it's not fair to have the children doing it as well. They don't know. Children have to be brought up in a certain way so that they know these things, so that later on in their life, perhaps they can make the choices. I made the choices to stop eating most of this stuff. I still eat the occasional cake. If you've come to the karaoke nights, you'll know. Whenever there's a birthday, I'm the first over there for a piece of cake or 2 or 3. You know, but even if I have 3 slices of cake, if I have 3 slices of cake, perhaps on a Monday night, there won't be any more cake for a week or 2. That's it. But these people, they're sitting there having a whole box of cakes every night of the week. And they're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. So this is where the governments have to step in, you see. There weren't this amount of fat people around when I was a child. I can perhaps name 3 or 4 that I knew. How many can you name now? Have a look around. When you go shopping later, you have a look around and see how many fat people are around. Really fat, not just a bit fat, but massively fat people are around. And it's not good for your health. And God knows what happens to these little fat kids at school. They must have the piss taken out of them left, right and centre. You know what children are like. It says ministers should ban junk food ads before 9 o'clock, the watershed, the committee said. Health campaigners have long been calling for changes to junk food advert airing times, saying that their current restrictions do not apply to family viewing time. Meanwhile, supermarkets should be forced to remove confectionery and other unhealthy snacks from the ends of aisles at checkouts, because that's exactly where they put them, isn't it? Right at the end of the aisle, when you're coming to the end of your shop and you're feeling perhaps a little bit fed up with being in the supermarket, aren't you? Huh? And there it is, just as you're about to check out. The bar of Galaxy chocolate. The rows and rows of sugar-laden chewing gum. The packets of fruit pastels covered in sugar. All sitting there at the end of the aisle. Oh, I just have one of those. Oh, I have one of those. Oh, I have one of those as well. It's so easy to do. But I don't know. Is the way to do it to ban these things? A third of children, it says now. A third of children. A third. That's 33 and a third%. A third of children are overweight or obese by the time they leave primary school. Not secondary school, primary school, according to official figures. The group of MPs call for a whole system approach to tackle the issue. This includes a call for the government to end sponsorship deals by brands overwhelmingly associated with high-fat, sugar and salt products of sports clubs, venues, youth leagues and tournaments. Now, a lot of the people that I've spoken to, they kind of qualify the fact that they are eating all this stuff, you know, and a bit like the old smoking, you know. Oh, well, my nan is 90 years old and she smoked every day right up to the end of her life. Well, how is she now? Dead. And we all know people like that. We all know people who have indeed smoked all their life and they've got to 90 years old and have died of old age. Congratulations. But then how many others have died because they smoked at the age of 35? You know, I know some people that have had the big C and continue to smoke. On another subject altogether, that really, isn't it? But it's like with the food. They continue to shove it in their mouths. I know people that will go out Toby Carvery and go back and have like 3 lots of food and 2 or 3 puddings, and they're getting fatter and fatter and fatter. And is that what it takes? A heart attack? Heart attacks, well, they're not all they're made out to be either. When you see on the telly, I was talking to a doctor about this, you know, when you see on Casualty or somewhere like that, Holby City, whatever, and they have a heart attack and those things come out and then they do the electric jolt, don't they? I love it. The electric jolt. I go, okay, clear like that. Do you know, I'm going to do this. I'll do a video with my mate of doing electric jolting, shall I? So they put the paddles on there. Clear. I love it, dear. The electric jolt. Okay, so when you see that on Holby City and Casualty, right? And then 98% of the people 2 days later are getting out and running around and carry on with their lives. Well, according to this doctor I know, it ain't like that, mate. In fact, very few of them are still walking around 2 weeks later. They might get them the first time, you know, I like that. That might work the first time, but 2 weeks later they're gone. And some people don't even get the second chance. You know, they have the heart attack, they're dead, that's it. They give them the thing like that. Don't work. Don't work. If you're very, 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 very lucky, you might have a heart attack, what I call a heart attack warning. Where you do have a heart attack, you go to hospital, they sort you out, and then there you go. You've had your chance, mate. But a lot of people don't get the warning. They have the heart attack, dead. And being fat means you're more likely to have a blooming heart attack. That being said, thin people have heart attacks. Yes, I know what you're saying. Yeah, but thin people have... Yes, they do. Yes, they do. But all that fat is so bad. It's so bad. But they qualify the fact that they eat, oh, I just fancy another pudding. You've had one. You've just had a sticky toffee pudding or a sponge pudding with treacle on the top and custard. And I love it. And we all love this stuff. And no one's saying you can't have it. Even in Slimming World, they don't say you can never have this stuff. Because I go out to afternoon tea once every couple of weeks. And we have cakes and we have sandwiches. And we have sweets. For one meal out of 3, 6, 9, 12, out of 21 a week, one meal, I do that. The rest of the week, it's all very sensible. So there we are. Where should we go? Over to YouTube. Let's go over to YouTube. Thank you. Did I go to Valley Gardens? Not yet, Claire. No, not yet. We want to go there. Me and my friend want to go there. Claire, I totally agree about fat kids. It's habit forming for the rest of your life. What your parents feed you. Oh, well, it is, Claire. In actual fact, my mother, there were no takeout meals. Now, I don't know if it was just my mother or that was just generally the time. In the 1970s, when my mum was feeding me, there were no takeout meals. I mean, ever. You know, oh, could you go down to the shop and get a Chinese... Well, there weren't really any Chinese places, but it was lots of fish and chip shops. We didn't have fish and chips every night of the week. Certainly not. We never had it. She would cook every single meal from scratch. Now entire families, they go out, we'll have a takeaway 3-4 times a week now. And they sit there eating them out little silver blooming metal things that have come from the local Indian takeaway or the fish and chips and the little plastic things like that. No, they don't even put them on a plate, dear. Awful. Oh, why are we getting fat? Do you know how much fat is in this crap? No, it's not like that. So you're right. Yeah, my mum used to cook all our stuff. Whether it was her or just that time period that we were in there, I have a feeling it was the time period. I think you'll find most parents cooked everything from scratch. But perhaps now they say, oh, well, I can't be bothered to cook from scratch. Well, don't have the children then. Don't have the children if you can't look after them properly. It's bordering on child cruelty to feed them all this blooming fat stuff all the time, isn't it? Isn't that the same as, I don't know, whacking your kid round the face every 10 minutes? Giving them rubbish to eat. And then people say, oh, but we can't afford to feed them, you know, with decent food. Well, how much is a bag of carrots? 49 pence at Aldi, and it's a massive bag. Potatoes. Peas. They're not dear. Go to a McDonald's, well, it's about a £5 each, isn't it? You telling me you can't cook a meal for, so say there's a family of 4, 20 quid. You can't cook a meal for 20 quid in the oven and on the stove? Please, don't lie to me. I know you can, because I do it. I do it. You buy a slow cooker for 30 quid. Great big blooming thing it is. Put it all in the night before if you're feeling lazy. Turn it on, leave it in the morning. The next afternoon. Done. All done. Spices and everything in there. Claire. My mum cooked everything. We went out for a meal as a special occasion once every couple of months. Yeah, did we ever go out for meals? I don't think we did, actually. I don't think we did. But this was the days before fast food came along. Before McDonald's. I remember there was a time when there was no McDonald's. I think we had Wimpy. Yeah, we had Wimpy, and that was all very... done proper. You know, you might have a burger and chips, but I'm talking once a year here. Maybe once a year you'd have the burger and chips. And that's what I'm saying. No one is saying that you can't have cakes and crisps and sweets. Just not 3 times a day. Hello to Bubble Belvis. The composition of your gut bacteria determines how much belly fat you have. Can I do one off-topic spam? What's a one off-topic spam? I don't know what one off-topic spam. Perhaps you're partly right there, Bubble. But how is it then that I managed to lose 2 stone by changing the food I eat? So that thing may be part of it. But I've managed to... There's a lot of people on this programme at the moment who have now done Slimming World, which I told them about on here. A lot of people on here that have done Slimming World and lost the weight, so that doesn't quite go to the gut bacteria, although it may help, mightn't it? Let's go to some of your messages. Oh gosh, there's a lot coming through there, isn't there? Good morning to Shania, who remembers United Kingdom Radio. Yeah, it was all right while it lasts, wasn't it? Yes, Patrick is indeed in New Zealand. Good morning. Morning, cousin Patrick in the house. Are we coming through loud and clear? Hello, New Zealand. Hello to Joseph. Please, no fudge references this morning. We done the fudge last week. We done an entire show about Cornwall fudge that you may have missed. Tony Tiger could promote fudge. No, they're not allowed. They're not going to be allowed to promote bad things, are they? Joseph, with respect to childhood obesity, please quit promoting fudge. Stop going on about fudge. We've done it. I'm not going to read any more messages about fudge. Absolutely not. All right. Andy, this is a really good point. Andy says, if only they could reverse the way they sell things, make healthy food cheaper and bring bad food a lot more expensive. Well, I don't think they should make the bad food more expensive, but certainly the good food could be cheaper, I suppose. But as I say, I think it is cheap to eat properly. I think it is cheap to eat, but as I say, I got a big, and I do use it a lot. I use my slow cooker a lot, and I use my oven a lot. Here is a typical lunch that I have, right? Okay, so oven on, I make Slimming World chips. These are a potato cut up in chips, or cut up, say, into quarters, so you've got small potatoes. You spray it 4 or 5 times with spray light, which is hardly any... It's 1 calorie per spray. So you've got 5 calories of oil on that potatoes, right? And then in the oven, they go in the oven for about 20 to 25 minutes on 220 degrees centigrade. On go, a pan of baked beans, a whole tin, and then 2 eggs as an omelette generally, or perhaps just as normal eggs. That's my lunch. It's very filling. You won't require anything until later on that day. You don't require sweets and pasties and bits of cheese and all that in the middle. You don't require all that. Now, there's an awful lot of people who have never been to Slimming World, who are fat, who like to give you advice on what you're doing isn't the right thing to do. Yeah, I'm the one who's lost the weight. Amazed by that. There's several things that we can eat that are classed as free foods. That is, you can eat as much of it as you want. Potatoes are one of those items. They are one of those items. And let me tell you, I have a lot of potatoes. When I do Slimming World chips or little roast potatoes with spray light, I have a lot. A lot. You know those packets you can buy? Well, most of that's gone in one meal. But I've lost the weight. Now, you tell me that's not the right thing to eat. They say, oh, don't touch bananas. They make you really fat. If you eat a banana as a banana, not fattening. And then I say, I have grapes. Oh, you don't want to touch those. They're full of sugar. Well, I do. And I eat a lot of grapes, usually on the way to work. So, it's amazing how many people are offering you advice all the time and actually know sweet FA about it. Really. Joseph says, I can't afford any of those sweets. I haven't had a cake piece in a year. Oh, Joseph, well, do you want me to send you a nice cake over? It'd be stale by the time it gets to you, wouldn't it? Angela says, my downfall is Milo and cookies. What is Milo, darling? I don't know what Milo is. Ronnie, fat little gits. That's the little people. Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you're adult and you're fat and very overweight and you're happy, that's okay. Fine. So be it. But if you're not happy, then you need to do something about it. If you're fat and okay, and you're quite happy with it. Remember, we're not talking about looks here. We're talking about inside your health. If you're happy with that, about how you look and you're big and perhaps 2 or 3 times the size of everyone else, that's okay. Just be prepared for a heart attack or some cancer later on in your life. I'm sorry to give it to you like that. There was a poster up a while ago in some of the poster boards in London, the great big ones and the ones that light up. How did they ever get away with those light up billboards? I do wonder that. I mean, they say don't be distracted from the road, always look straight in front of you. And then they put all these light up boards and they're really bright. I wouldn't like to live across the road from one of those light up billboards, would you? Anyway, one of the things they put up there was something like food makes you obese and fat. Well, someone complained. Oh, you're making us feel bad about ourselves. And they took the posters down. What do you think they put that poster up there so that it would make you feel bad about yourself? No, it's trying to save your life. It was something to do with, if you eat loads, you'll get a heart attack or something like that. Of course, it's not guaranteed. Of course, it's not guaranteed. Just because you're 4 times the size of everyone else, I'm not going to guarantee that you will get a heart attack, but you've got a much higher chance than anyone else. Oh. There's my mate going on about his lungs. My mate's got a really bad chest at the moment. He's got the start of emphysema, which isn't very good at all. He's got the most awful cough at the moment, but he's going to force it. It's going to be Mummy's brave little soldier and go swimming today, aren't you? You must try. DNA. There you go. You're quite right, Joseph. Has a lot to do with how long you're going to live, regardless of eating, drinking, and smoking habits. I like to keep an eye on my lungs. I was adopted. My mother and father, who brought me up, have since have passed on to another world. But I did find my birth mother, and her dad died of lung cancer. So I like to keep a special eye on my lungs. They did both smoke as well. So I mean, I smoked for a while, for that's 12 years. But I gave that up when I moved here, actually. So that's 27 years ago. I stopped smoking, But my birth mother and father had... I never don't know who my birth father was, but my birth mother had... She got lung cancer and died it'd be coming up to 2 years ago this year. And her father... also, that he had lung cancer, and they died of that. So with the DNA thing, yes, you need to know what's coming, sort of to keep an eye on it. Andy, my dad, God bless his soul, smoked since he was 17, passed away at 56 from lung cancer. See, that's no age, 56, is it? I don't think that's old. I mean, I think, I think, Andy, as you get older, the idea of age in your mind goes up as well. I think old is like 80 plus now, maybe 85 even. Old is now 80 plus. It's not 50. It's not 50. Have you got any children, Andy? I don't know how old your children. If they are 5, then they think 15 is old, don't they? Christina, I make homemade cakes and American brownies for friends and house guests. Some friends have special diets so I can make sure what's in the cake and they will not be ill. Oh, I like the sound of that, Christina. As I've said 3 times now, 3 times now, you can have cakes. You can have all these things, crisps and that have you, just not all the time. You can't have cakes every single day. You can't have ice cream every single day. Last night I went up to my mate's house and we had little roast potatoes. I had beans and I had 2 Quorn burgers, Quorn. Quorn burgers I had last night. And I had that and I said, any ice cream? Because I haven't got any ice cream. I've got nothing like that in the house. I've got no biscuits, no crisps, no ice cream, nothing like that in the house because I would eat it. So I've taken away that temptation. My mate has got it. So I said, any chance of some ice cream? And he threw his eyes up to heaven, tutted, and then went outside and bought me a bowl of honeycomb ice cream with little chocolate sprinklings on it. See, so I had that last night. But I won't have that tonight, probably tomorrow, or the rest of the week now, unless I go up there again. I must go up there again. Oh dear. Christina cooks from scratch most of the time. It's possible to have a good yummy meal done in 15 minutes. Absolutely it is. It doesn't take 2 hours to do most meals. It really doesn't. I'd like to start making my own veggie burgers, actually. Make my own burgers out of vegetables. I'd like to try that next. I mean, at the moment, admittedly, when I say I don't do instant food, I don't buy prepackaged meals, I don't. You could, however, sort of class boxes of veggie burgers as prepared meals, I suppose, couldn't you? I suppose you could, really. Although the potatoes and the baked beans or the veg... Would you class baked beans as a ready meal? Because you do, you open the can, you put them in there. Baked beans is another thing. That's one of our free foods. You can eat as many as you want. Joseph, if you look at 19th century diets, they were fatty but not sugary. Sugar is the problem. Plus, we get exercise today compared against other days. We get less exercise. Yes, we do. You're right. Are you doing chips today? Sadly, not today. I've got one of my stews. I've got one left from the other day. I've got one left. I could do you chips if you come over. I could do you chips. Actually, yeah, no, I can do chips. Yeah, I'll do chips because what I was going to do was potatoes with those. So I'll do chips. And we can have half of that stuff each if you want. There's enough actually for 2 lots there. Probably enough for 2 lots. I'll have half and you can have half. And I'll have chips to make up the difference. Slimming World chips. Yeah, we'll have lunch after swimming, okay? Use an air fryer. I had one, Adrian. I had a Tefal air fryer. And it was this big glass thing. And it might not have been an air fryer, actually. No, it was a halogen oven. And you put the top on, then you switched it on, and this glow came out. And I thought, it'd be much quicker in there. No. An hour and 10 minutes, and these chips still weren't done. They only took 20 minutes in the oven, so I sent that back. Tefal thing it was, and it was all glass, and the most beautiful glow, but you couldn't touch the glass, and I worried about that shattering. Oh, talking of which, I had one glass, thick glass saucepan downstairs. I've only broken it, and I? Oh, broke it. I've had that years. I've had that. I think it was my mum's. I don't know what happened, and I put it down, and then I knocked it with something, and the back of it just shattered. Oh, good job it didn't shatter on the cooker, really. You shouldn't have glass, things like that. Don't forget, you can text the show if you want to, boys and girls. Phone number's up there, 07551 269 675 is our texting number. Just a reminder, that number is only operating while the show is on, okay? So if you text afterwards, I won't get the text until the next show because I turn it off. All right, 07551 259 675 is our text-in number. I wonder if Maureen, if you're still there, Maureen, do you cook everything from scratch? Or do you go out for dinner now and again? I'd like to know, actually. I'd like to know what you do. Adrian says, my advice is to eat more cake. Yeah. Andy remembers the posters about Chris. Obesity kills. That's what it said. Thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Obesity kills was the title at the top of the poster, and someone complained. People complained it was making them feel bad. Well, lose the weight and you won't feel bad anymore, love. That's what I say. There were people complaining, saying the message was too abrupt. Well, it's got to be sometimes, otherwise people don't do anything about it, do they? That's the trouble. Adrian, air fryer, very quick. You have the Harwich on, which isn't. Do you want to try that again, Adrian? That didn't make sense, that message. Try it again, my love, and I'll read it out to you. We're due today's birthdays, gang. We weren't on yesterday either, so we're due today's and yesterday's birthdays as well, if that's all right with you. And Tom Gully, who often watches the show, he's not there this morning. I don't know where he is. He's probably still asleep. What's the time there? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. It's 20 past 5 in the morning where he is. So happy birthday today to Tom Gully. You'll probably watch the recording of this. Happy birthday, Tom, and it's good to have you along for the show, all right? Happy birthday to Angela Selby. Good morning, Angela. Patrick Honor, who's 57 years old today, Frenchman, who comes along occasionally to the Central Station Karaoke and does Liza Minnelli, don't you? Gary Energizer Simmons, who has his own record label, a very old 56 today, aren't you, Gary? Happy birthday, Gary. Loredana Scarpellini is 56 years old today. Craiger Bell, hello, Craiger, who is a thespian. He is a thespian. Happy birthday, Craiger. And Liam Goff. It's Liam's birthday today. Good morning, Liam, and happy birthday to you. Yesterday's birthdays, boys and girls, were just 2. Stephen Cousins is 63 years old yesterday, and Tom Millington. Now, where have you been, Tom? You haven't been at my karaoke's for ages now. We miss you, dear. 39 years old today. Yesterday. Happy birthday to you all. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. All right, gang? Bubble Vicious, I use the keto diet. Is that ketamine? No, it's not. I used the keto diet to lose weight. It was very easy. I ate mainly fatty meat and greens as much as I like. Yeah, there was another one of those. And he also says I usually eat healthier when I have less money to spend. I buy less prepared food. Well, I don't really buy any prepared food at all. I don't buy any prepared food at all. So only, as I say, the corn burgers or veggie burgers, stuff like that sometimes. Adrian, use air fryer are a very quick way to cook. The food does not sit in the oil drip tray, much better than a halogen system which you had. Okay, I'll have a look at that, Adrian. Thanks very much. Is it quick? And you say it's quick to do chips in there, which would be a good thing. To be honest, they only take 20, 25 minutes in the oven, really. And then it's very easy to sort of just get the metal thing out and give it a quick wash. Or put it in the dishwasher, something like that. Joseph, Eskimos live into their 90s. They are very fat. It's all about the DNA. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Of course, they get a lot of exercise in Eskimo land, don't they? Alaska, on all the way up there. Wonderful. Good. Okay, that's it for the show today. Thanks ever so much, gang, for joining us for our little chat. Tonight, it's our quiz night. The Wednesday quiz is at the King's Head Theatre Pub, 115 Upper Street in Islington, London N1 1QN, starting at 8:30. Come and join us down there for a little bit of a quizette. £30 bar tab is the top prize. Second prize is a bottle of wine. Quiz night tonight at King's Head Theatre Pub, Upper Street in Islington. Be nice to see some of you down there. That's it for the show. Have a lovely Wednesday, isn't it, out there? I do hope the sun will come out at some point so I can test. So I'll be able to test whether my repaired solar panel is now fully functioning. Adrian, 10 minutes in the air fryer. Really? Let me write that down. There was another thing I was considering getting, an ice cream maker. And I'll tell you why. You can make ice cream from quark, which is low-fat, soft cheese. My Slimming World lady, Linda, who is queen of all of Slimming World, made ice cream the other day. And I've got to say, it's absolutely delicious. Homemade ice cream. And you just put it in this thing and it constantly stirs it. I don't know how long it takes. So I was looking at those. They're about 50 quid. 75 American, 100 Australian, I think. So I might have a look at one of those as well. But air fryer and ice cream maker. Perhaps I could ask for these for Christmas because it's too nice now. It's too late now for me to start asking for birthday presents. I've missed that now till next year, unfortunately. Have a nice day, boys and girls, and thanks for watching and listening. See you very soon. Bye-bye.